Dr. Kim Anderson, our crop marketing specialist, is here now. Kim, the big news this week is Oklahoma's wheat production estimate is out. What did it reveal?
Well, it revealed that the production in Oklahoma for wheat in 2023 would be somewhere around 54 million bushels.
Do you agree with that estimate?
I think that estimate may be a little low. You know, a couple weeks ago when our crop conditions were not quite as bad as they are right now, I had that production up in the 70 million bushel range. However, our crop conditions went from about 45% down to 65% for the poor to very poor conditions. You look at 23 Oklahoma conditions versus last year at harvest, you got 65% poor to very poor, 23% fair, 12% good to excellent. Last year at harvest, you had 49, 41, and 10. So you'd expect, last year we produced 69 million bushels, you'd expect production lower than that. However, we had a 10% increase in wheat planted acres. Now there's a lot going on there. You got an insurance price, $8.77. After you say you got a 70% level, that gives you about a $6.70 price if you can write it off and then you can come in with a summer crop. So there's a lot going on in the market right now. That 54 may be relatively good. I'm not going to be surprised if it's not a little higher than that. Now, if you look at overall on the U.S. hard red winter, 44% poor to very poor. Last year it was 42. So you've got the overall crop about the same as last year. And last year we produced 531 million bushels of hard red winter wheat. And I think our U.S. production for HRW will probably be somewhere in that range.
With the production numbers coming in a little lower, did the markets react, or do you think they will?
We had a 40-cent price increase the day after that number came out. Now, I think that's just happenstance. That's just my opinion, because Russia has pretty much said they're not going to renew the export agreement with Ukraine, and that's going to stop Ukraine's wheat production coming out. If you go back and look at the $1.40 price decrease, and then today's 40-cent price increase, I think that's a Russian deal.
You mentioned Russia. Any other factors that are playing in?
Well, I think Ukraine's important, but you look at Russia, their ending stocks are projected to be 530 million bushels. Their average is 360. That's 170 million extra bushels they got to ship out. You look at their exports, 1.65 billion bushels. That's 300 million bushels above average just for this crop year. So they're coming into next year with an average or better crop. They're coming in with above average ending stocks. The Black Sea, Russia just has a tremendous amount of wheat they're putting on the market. The market knows it's coming, and they drove prices down.
We talked a lot about wheat. What about the other crops?
Well, if you look what went on with corn, you go back a couple weeks, you could forward contract corn for $5.50. It fell down to $4.90. I think that's the rain. I think it's improved conditions and what's going on in South America with Brazil and Argentina. You look at soybeans, they fell off a little bit, but they're wallering around down there around $11.80, $12. Not much happening in beans, but I think the beans and the corn got those lower prices over the last couple of weeks because of the rain and improved growing conditions.
Well, lots of information, lots of details. Kim, thanks a lot. We'll see you next week.